Hi, today I am going to be showing you this Ramona Quimby age 8 book. It's by Beverly Cleary. I love Beverly Cleary. She makes lots of good books. I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite books. Beverly Cleary, she likes to illustrate and she likes to be an author. And the book is Ramona Quimby, age 8. When Beverly Cleary writes her titles, especially with Ramona books, she writes them in more than one color. But her last name, which is Quimby, is always written in green. This is Ramona on the cover riding a bike. When you pick up this book, the 4 characters that you're gonna meet are Ramona, her best friend, Hawi, her baby sister, Barbaretta, named after their grandfather, Robert, and her big sister, Beatrice. I love this book. Ramona always gives you a nice and bright day with lots of laughs. So I'm going to sum this all up in one quick thing because I'm not going to read to you every single page. That would take forever. So I'm going to tell you the beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning, she's starting 3rd grade. Yes, 3rd grade. She's not very excited. In the morning, when her alarm clock rings, she always pulls the covers over her head and pretends she's sleeping before her mom comes in to wake her up. It took her 10 whole minutes before she dragged herself out of bed and pulled herself together. At the breakfast table, she just sat down in her chair and slept. She was late on the first day of school. And once she got to the bus stop, she tried to hide in her neighbor's house, but her neighbor was mowing the lawn and she didn't want mud in the grass, so she had to go wait by the bus stop. And when she got on the bus, she was grumpy. But her friend Hawi, he's always delightful. And when she got to school, she tried to hide on the bus, but it didn't work. When she got there, they already had to do a worksheet. They had to write in cursive, and she was just like, I already know how to write in cursive. So instead of copying the letters on the board, she wrote what she thought cursive looked like. So when she turned in the assignment, she failed. Next after that was lunch. Her mother forgot to pack her lunch. I'm telling you, she is in 3rd grade. She is supposed to pack her own lunch, not her mom. But she packed it, but she forgot to pack it anyway. Don't rely on your parents to do everything for you. Sometimes they're just not gonna do it. And when she dragged herself out of bed, it was hilarious. It kind of reminds me, well, of me. I don't like to get up, especially on school days. I have to wake up at 7 o'clock. Well, that's only because it takes me 30 minutes to get out of bed. But who's counting? Anywho, next was lunch. She didn't pack her own lunch, so she had to buy it. And they weren't selling so good food that day. So she ended up not eating lunch. And then they had recess, and she had no one to play with because Hawi was playing with his friends. Oh yeah, Hawi is a boy, just so you know if you're wondering. And then when she finally got home, she said, "This is a miracle." And when Beatrice, her big sister, got home, she was dancing in delight, and she was just like, "What happened now?" As she slumped in her chair. Beatrice said she made a new friend and she didn't get lost in the hallways. She was in high school, junior high. And that was a new year for her, and I'm getting tongue twisted again. Ramona was just like, oh my god, she's going to a new school and she already has a best friend. This is going to be the worst year ever. And then after she got home, since her parents have to go to work and Zeus had to go to a study session. I'm pretty sure it was just a party. Ramona couldn't stay home by herself, so she had to get dropped off at her Lee's house. And only his grandma was there. And she said, oh my God, Heidi had to come here every day. There's nothing to do and we don't even get to watch TV because that old grandma is always watching the news. So she ended up playing blocks with Howie, which they used to do when they were little, and she was like, I don't want to play with blocks anymore. I'm in 3rd grade. So she sat on the table, got a snack, and did her homework. And then there was Howie's little sister, Willia Jean. Willia Jean was not so friendly, and she was just starting the 1st grade. Ramona said she was starting nursery school, and she is not very nice. And if you play a game, you always have to be the boring character, and she gets to be a princess. It's never fair. And by the time she gets home, she's exhausted from Willia Jean. And they always have to play Ring Around the Rosie. And she gets to fall, and she always gets to jump and fall. She always gets to run in a normal circle, but Ramona has to walk because she's too slow. It's never fun for Ramona. And in Ramona books, Ramona always starts out having a bad time. Oh yeah, and her teacher's name is Miss Whaley. And then the next day when she got to school, there was a trend going around, and it's when you got a boiled egg, a hard boiled egg, you have to make sure it's boiled, and you smashed it on your head. And she told her mom, can you boil an egg in my lunch? And when she got to school, this is the thing she didn't know. The egg wasn't boiled. It was a raw egg. And when she smashed it on her head, it got all over her hair, and it didn't come out. So she had to go to the office and wash it out. And a girl named Grace took her, and she said Grace is always acting like an adult. She said, oh, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Oh, they're gonna get it out of your hair. And I was just like, oh my God, like you're really mature when you get at home. When she got there, when she was in this room drying her hair, oh yeah, she washed her hair. When she was in this room drying her hair, the teacher came in, and she heard the conversation, and the teacher said, oh, Ramona's a show-off, but she didn't really mean it that way, but Ramona thought so. The next day, they were doing a book presentation, and then she tried to make it as good as possible because she still thought Miss Whaley said she was a show-off. So when she did her book presentation, at the end, she said, Miss Whaley, do you still think I'm a show-off now? And Miss Whaley was like, when did I say you were a show-off? And she said, remember the day I got egg in my hair, and you said I was just a show-off? And she said, I said the people who started the trend were show-offs. And Ramona felt so embarrassed, she just ran away, and she didn't come back. She said the world was cross at her. If you don't know what cross means, it means angry. And then she had to go to Howie's house again with Willia Jean. This time they had to play rat school, and she got to be a beautiful princess mouse, and Ramona had to be a boy dirty rat. And at the next day when she got to school, it was so embarrassing. She didn't want to see Miss Whaley again. But at the end, she ended up liking her. It was a good school year, and everything turned out well. I would personally recommend this book for people who like adventures, books about little girls. That was my book review. Bye!